Welcome to episode 6 of the Daily High with Matt McGregor and Tone Vase. Woo, the market is on thin ice, hence the thumbnail for this show. I don't really like what I see, but as Tone and I were chatting prior to the show, it's not all doom and gloom. We're just in exactly the same spot we were in sort of the last week or so. I still don't like it. I want to see a better bump off this point, but we're still in the same zone. Tone, happy Tuesday, Wednesday. What day is it for you there? Wednesday morning.
It is Wednesday morning. It's nice 7:30 in the morning here in Panama. I'm drinking my tea. Yeah, let's go to the charts. May keep this show nice and tight.
Yeah, let's do that. All right. So as you know, the trading competition changed. We did 24 hours trading rather than just throughout the length of the show. So we're going to review right now the results from last night's trade, and I'm sure that any astute followers would understand. Tone definitely won that. So would you like to show your screen share, Tone, and show how you
Sure.
won this trade?
Well, yes, I won, but I'm not happy about winning this trade because even though I won the trade, I lost money in the trade, right? And that's nothing to be excited about. Ooh, I don't like this current 1 hour candle at all. So that's nothing really to be excited about. Here is the trade. My P&L was down 11%. I lost $118 on the $1,000 starting capital, and that's not good at all. I used a leverage of 10. Current price is at 42,590. So I did win the trading day. We're gonna think about the rules here, and we're gonna probably alter them going into next week. We will keep it this week for now because it looks like we are just encouraging higher and higher leverage. We're actually gonna put P&L into account starting next week as we think a little more about the rules.
Yeah, definitely. We talked about this earlier today or yesterday for you that we both agree that we should be recording the P&L. So your starting capital is $1,000. If hypothetically Tone put the same trade on last night, he lost $118 on the trade. So tomorrow his starting capital starts from that point minus $1,000 minus 118. And I'll do the same. But we're not gonna that'll limit the fact of gaming the system of just going 100x long on every trade, and it doesn't matter if you win or lose. It makes it more realistic. So we're going to implement that from next week. This is a brand new show. It's a brand new concept. It will evolve, but it's the same principle. So Tone, you won that trade. So we'll come over to the board. I'm off the ears for a second. If you stop the screen share, mate.
Yep. Hold on. Stop screen share, and I will put you on the big screen.
Thanks, mate. And I will. All right, here we go. So Matt goes down one. Tone goes up. After 6 episodes, we're exactly tied once again.
All right.
All right. You want to have a look at the Bitcoin chart first of all, my friend?
Sure. Let's. This is going to be a quick look at Bitcoin. I don't like this hourly chart, so when we make our next trade at the end of the show, it'll be interesting which way we go. So since I'm on the hourly chart, here's the one thing I do like. I like these moving averages all in the same place. They're all bunching up, which means it's a lot easier for the price of Bitcoin to just continue to consolidate, get in line with the moving averages, and eventually break out above them and above your green cloud over here. So that's a little bit of upside on a 4-hour scale. Actually looks the same, only instead of all the moving averages bunching up, you're just dealing with a single moving average. However, the MRI on a 4-hour chart is somewhat abysmal, and the MRI on the 1-hour chart, we did have an MRI low about 5 hours ago. We couldn't muster much. We're now breaking 2 new lows. That's not good at all. There's one last low we need to take out on the low side, and it's only a few dollars lower, and then things might get a little bit uglier. Moving on to the higher level time frame, the weekly chart. The weekly chart is trying to muster a little bit, but nothing special. As we said in the last show, we need Bitcoin to close above 44,000 on a weekly scale and several closes above 44,000 on a daily scale to get us out of this consolidation and above all the moving averages in order to be super bullish on Bitcoin. I'm going to just move this arrow over. The concept is exactly the same. We did pull back. We actually pulled back further. I can drop that pullback arrow. But the moment Bitcoin starts establishing itself above 44, I'm expecting significantly higher prices. And that's pretty much it on my views of Bitcoin. Matt, you are up.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I'll jump straight into it too. I think I'll be quite brief again today because there's not much. Oh, sorry. Just docked myself. Stop screen share. Sorry, mate. That was our private
Oh,
chat or
I,
something.
I didn't even see that. I didn't even see what happened. I was looking at the live chat and questions coming in and stuff.
Can you see my chart on the screen, mate? What are you
I
looking at?
do, yeah.
Sorry. Great. Sorry, I had something else over the top. All right. So look, I'm going to start on the daily time frame because in last night's show, when the price was, I don't know, about 43,000, I said and I put this purple line in last night. I said I need us to clear this purple line at 43,661 because that for me is the point that I can start to feel more confident again because on the daily time frame we'll be above all of the my moving averages on alpha numerics. But I also mentioned in the show last night, so I've got stuff popping up on the screen here. I also mentioned we could very well, why I'm so critical about that 43,661 is because I can see us coming up, touching it, and then getting rejected, and that contributing to a further downside, which is exactly what we did last night. When we finished the stream last night, the price shot down really quick. It was immediately bought up, which I was really excited about. But when we got to the exact point last night, it was like, I don't know what time, 4 in the morning for me. I woke up at one point and I saw that we were exactly that point, 43,661, and it gave me great concern that this would be the rejection point and that we would conceive further downside. So yes, that is unfortunately what's happened, but it has on the 4 hour time frame just put us back into that same range that we were in for the last week or so. It's nothing too concerning, the fact that we're still in the same range. But as you can see, all the moving averages are starting to point down. They're starting to cross over. But as Tone said, I mean, that's a great point to bunch up and break out of. And I'm still holding strong that 40,420 is my point of no return. So this is still technically by the dip zone. As far as alpha numerics is concerned, there's nothing to freak out about. But I'm not enjoying the fact that we haven't had a good response out of here. And, in a week's time, if we burst out of here and we're back above 44, it'll look, the whole concept will be bullish and feel strong. But this is a really, I don't know, sad state of affairs, just trending sideways.
Yeah,
What do you
but
think, Tone?
as you were speaking, there was a pretty big rally in this 1 hour chart. I don't know what happened in the last 5 minutes, but let's see if this continues because that's a big move in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a move. I mean, I think that you'll start to see more volatility around these points to try and when the price is getting to that spot where is it about to print a lower low? Like at the moment, we're printing like lower highs, and it's sort of continuing. If we start to get to that point, you typically see a bit of a pump because all the the shorters, the people who are ready to put a short trade on for the breakout trade, they normally get the first through the door gets bloody in that sort of sense, but then it normally proceeds to follow through. I'll reiterate the fact that I'm still bullish. I'm still 100% bullish. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to worry about. Because my point of no return is relatively near, but I'm cautious in this point. Obviously, that's where I see the market right now.
Now we're
There's
rallying.
not,
Go to a 10-minute chart, Matt.
man. I can see it, but it's still below on the 4 hour time frame. All my moving averages, and until we start getting back up, I'm feeling good again, and I'm still in all the trades. Let me make that clear. It's just how long can we stay consolidating in this range before a direction is called? and it's a coin toss right now. I think Bitcoin is on thin ice at the moment. I would love to see it get out. That's all I'm seeing on Bitcoin, Tone. I'll give you back screen share because I think tomorrow is going to be much more interesting for Bitcoin. I'm hoping. I hate nothing happening in the market. I hate ranges. We break out, I'm stoked. We break down, I'm fine. I'm positioned, ready to handle that as well. But
Yeah.
right now is
All right, I'm gonna
much
take
about
screen
nothing.
share back. We have two very quick questions
Awesome.
from our live audience. One of them is, are the Bitcoin ETFs expected to do the usual tone-based 50% IPO correction? The answer is absolutely not. The reason why stocks do a 50% correction of IPO is because stocks are mispriced at IPO at a higher price, mostly just for the insiders to get out. The Bitcoin ETFs are priced at the price of Bitcoin, and they will follow the price of Bitcoin, maybe deviating by a few percentage points here and there. So the only way these ETFs are falling 50% is if Bitcoin falls 50%. So that logic does not apply to ETFs whatsoever. And do these ETFs create fractional reserve for Bitcoin? No, they don't. The Bitcoin back in these ETFs is not supposed to be used for other means, but the financial system is tricky, and we really have no idea what they're doing on the back end over there.
They're both they're two fantastic questions. I actually privately, or maybe even on this one of the first two streams, asked you the same two questions. So you've got a good audience here, Tone.
All right, still waiting for something to happen on January 23rd, 24th. We are just a week away from really discussing that. We'll get to that soon. I'm just going to go through my markets here this morning. The price of oil is dropping into your bullish zone here. Very, very interesting. I'm still surprised the price of oil is falling that much. The price of gold continues to just hold these all-time highs. I remain bullish on gold, waiting for the inevitable breakout. S&P 500 yesterday, that's probably my NASDAQ chart. The S&P 500 yesterday had a rough day, and it's not having a good day this morning. Probably one of the reasons why Bitcoin is struggling as well, and why the reason why a lot of stocks will struggle. And the other thing I wanted to glance at is in the U.S. stock department. Something's going on with airlines besides, a Boeing airplane losing its door. Boeing. The real fall happened yesterday. So, and the door thing, and we've known about that for probably this gap right here. So I don't know what the hell happened yesterday in the airline sector. Maybe some of our viewers do, and they can comment. Maybe they discovered that all of those planes are faulty or something, and now Boeing is in serious trouble, and they have to replace a lot of planes. But it's kind of surprising that the big crash happens a week after the incident with the plane. If we look at actual airlines, I think it's United Airlines. This is the airline I fly the most. Again, daily chart. They fell pretty big on Friday, and then I think that's when it happened. And then again on Tuesday, when the markets reopened, had a little bit of a hammer candle. So this could have a green tone-based volume, and it does. So the airlines might rebound. American Airlines. What's their ticker? American Airlines. Also had a beautiful green hammer candle. It is a bit in a double bottom. Not sure why the MRI didn't want to load. Let's try that again. Interesting. Why are we not loading? Maybe I just have to reset the chart. I'll get back to American Airlines. And the other one was Spirit. Now, I have never flown Spirit. It has to be the worst airline in the history of humanity. And I don't know what the hell happened to Spirit last night, but it's pretty unique. Maybe they filed for bankruptcy. I don't know. This looks like a buyout target to me. Man, that's a crash. That's a 47% crash in a single day for Spirit Airlines. Maybe something happened. Two planes collided on an airport. Okay, that explains it. I did not know that. I just saw the charts this morning. Whoa, okay, that explains it. And I'm assuming one of them was Spirit or both of them was Spirit. And I also would not be surprised that it would have been Spirit Airlines.
Hey Tone, can you view some of these airlines on the monthly for me and just
Sure.
give me like a decade to look at here because it interests me. I've got it on the other monitor right now. Look at Spirit, for example, like that. Oh, and
Spirit's
just
a
flick.
bad example of an airline. It's actually a poor excuse for having an airline. Let's go to a proper
I've
airline.
I've heard about Spirit and just flick over on Alpha Numerics. Flick your diamonds back to regular diamonds. Take off the inverted for a second because I'm interested to see. Yeah, hit the reverse button there, buddy. Awesome. All right, so if you look at American Airlines, where we on
Oh,
the
I don't like
month.
this chart.
No, I don't like that chart either. It's getting back near to where the low came in, and those diamonds came in beautifully. We got a great response off them, but it is almost retracted the entire amount coming off that. I would, if you believed in airlines and if you thought there's a future in airlines, I would be getting alphanumetrics. I'd be going to the monthly time frame, and I would be programming green diamond buys on the monthly time frame. Why? Because you can see historically that if you want these assets, then it's a good risk reward trade at that point. And we're not. I don't reckon we'd be far away at that point. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
but
so.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, mate,
Mm.
because these green diamonds are coming in on a COVID crash, and everything was a buy at the bottom of the COVID crash.
Yeah, that's a fair
So
assessment. But I mean,
the
but
only
they're not. They don't. It's not the only time they've come in on most
well on a
long-term
monthly, it
assets.
looks like that is the only time.
Well, perhaps on this, but there's one back there. I mean,
Or the financial crash of '08.
yeah, but I mean, if the market looks like it's going to make a new all-time low, not a new all-time high, a swing low, lower than the COVID crash period, it once again brings into play the green diamonds on a monthly scale.
No. That is true. So I would actually prefer the weekly, where clearly the green diamond on a weekly. This is also why I prefer the reverse, because it would have gotten to me on a green candle right there,
Mm.
right after extension C. And look at that beautiful MRI top on American Airlines. And then we had an MRI warning candle, and now it's a red star candle. But on a weekly scale, I mean, this is not good. American Airlines was able to finally break this massive downtrend. It broke out for a minute. It hit an MRI top in your red wave, couldn't break the lucid SAR, reversed, and now it can't even break that high again. Meanwhile, it made a new low. Yes, there is a weekly green diamond that gets you in, but right now, I don't see good things happening in the airline sector, at least for American Airlines. Should I check United, or you want to say something else on American weekly chart?
No, I mean, for me, there's better value elsewhere. That's all I can see on this chart.
Well, it looks like there's value in shorting here.
Yeah. There looks like there's value in shorting, and there'd be value in picking up a weekly or a monthly green diamond if they come in for a really long term hold. But but no, there's not value in
Right, like
buying it right
look at
now.
the weekly on United. You got your green diamond, and
Mm.
you held the SARS. My MRI came up a few weeks short, but then my MRI was able to call the stop beautifully on this candle last week when it was rallying before the big incidents. I'm not saying the MRI is predicting plane crashes or doors being blown off, but
Well, why
um,
not?
uh, but the MRI did give you a warning right here. Now, of course, I'm going to play my own devil's advocate. At one point, this would have been a beautiful green candle going up. Let me do chart replay here for a second. Is that my replay button? So what's really happening is when this candle comes in right here, if I click, where are my, here it is. If I go
Play.
Right. So as this candle is coming in, right
There.
there, right? Right here, this is in consolidation, and it's a beautiful green candle. So I'm not actually bearish. Your
There.
purple
Right
candle
there.
shows up.
Right
Um,
there. Right
that's
there is your
making you
top.
bullish, though, right?
Yeah. But
Right. And I'm
the candle didn't close. So
right,
it's
but the
not.
candle hasn't closed yet. The candle is going higher, and then on Friday it crashes. So if I go back one candle and it's up here, I'm actually still somewhat bullish because the candle is closing near the top. Okay. However, once this candle completes, it's all over, and I'm expecting this to go down and perhaps challenge these lows. Even though, let's say you're in from the green diamond, at which point uh, do you cut your loss on the trade when you're breaking the SAR?
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely dealer's choice. That's why I love alphanumerics in combination with the MRI, because you could pull your trade right now. But me personally, I would be still in the trade and I would have to just stay in it and take the break even trade on this one. Because especially with the stock market on the weekly or monthly time frame, I envision every trade I enter to be months, years, decades. I'm not trading this stuff. I'm growing the portfolio. So yes, I would at worst take a break even on this trade, but I got in at the best time to get in prior to any other time to have gotten in. So I'm okay. So I wouldn't pull it. I just wait.
All right, gotcha. And look at space. I guess space travel isn't really doing well right now either. This is Virgin Galactic. Of course, they have airplanes as well. Someone is saying that Airbus is bullish, and after this, we'll go and take a look at Bitcoin one more time. Airbus, I thought Airbus was a French company. I don't know why they are on all exchanges other than France. Uh, I guess that's Spain. Huh. Let's see how liquid it is. Yeah, maybe they're trading out of Spain. Yep, Airbus is certainly bullish with Boeing having a bunch of problems over the last few years. Real
Can
quick,
you
let's have
go even further back? Click to the monthly and go even further back on that. I just want to see if we did get a diamond.
surprise, no diamond on the COVID crash. Airbus has been very bullish. Look at this, all-time high. Very different than Boeing chart. Any thoughts or heading to Bitcoin? Matt, did you freeze on me?
Yeah, I'm back now though.
Okay.
It's Australia.
Yeah. Any thoughts, or are we heading over to glance at Bitcoin?
Well, I missed about 15 seconds of that through dead air. But yeah, I mean that looks great. Airbus looks great. Awesome. Let's go back
Okay.
to Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin doing?
So
Is it crashing?
going back to Bitcoin, here's the 1 hour chart. The 1 hour chart is coming back, which alters what I may do with the trade in about 30 seconds as we end the show.
Look at if we had to hit your, what do you call that blue line? The accelerator point. What's it called? That blue line you've got there under the.
Oh, yeah, that's uh, basically the breakout or breakdown level. But look,
I love them. I love it. That would have
we
if that we'd
crossed
have
it
closed below
before.
that. Yeah.
We crossed it before by a minute, and we immediately reversed. So I don't use these lines very. I don't really pay attention to these lines much. They're kind of there,
Well,
but I don't use them as much.
send me the Pine code because I might implement them to alpha because I love them, but maybe not on the hourly time frame, but on the higher time frames, they are excellent
Mm.
when they're penetrated. All right.
Yeah, no, the code for this is actually fairly simple. It is the lowest priced candle in an MRI move. So in this case, it would be the lowest candle of candle nine right here. And you double the size of
Size.
the range of that candle, and you go bam down there. So right here. So this final MRI candle right down here, and you just double that range and you stick it right there.
I
Sometimes
love it.
it's a prior candle, sometimes it could be this one. So they vary.
Mm.
obviously over here, whoa, this line is coming in from back here. So it was also this candle here, and then
Yeah.
you double that range. So that's kind of far. I don't find that to be very useful. Okay. Anyway, let's wrap up the show
Yep.
with the trades. Man, all right, Matt, you're gonna put together your trade, and then since you're not on screen share, and since I am on screen share, I will do my trade live, and then we'll head over the screen share to yours. We do have one last question about the S&P and the divergence on the S&P. S&P divergence on the weekly. I have the weekly chart. We're gonna open up the oscillators, and we can look at the RSI. I don't see any, sorry, MACD.
That's MACD. Yep.
I don't see any divergence here. The MACD is still rising. I mean, yes, the price is at a slightly higher high here versus back here, but the MACD is still rising. The MACD has not yet crossed over. So you can't assume that the MACD is going to cross over. The MACD could literally go like this. And this is one of the reasons why young traders completely screw up the concept of divergence. The MACD has to first cross over. And the MACD has to cross over at a lower level than the prior one. So if I go here, and this is the crossover, so you need the MACD to cross over at a lower level while putting in a higher price. I don't actually see that happening at all. I see the price going higher and the MACD going higher. And if it does cross over, it's not going to be at a lower high. I mean, it's not going to take place, right?
So can
Or
you
the
bring up the was the question specifically about the MACD divergence or the RSI? Because I think people would normally look at the
It's
RSI.
just talking
Can you?
about bearish divergence. They're not being
Yeah.
specific. I was going
Can
to take
you?
a look at the RSI
Let's do
next.
that. Yeah.
Um,
That's what they're probably
so
talking about now.
So
Nice.
yes, if you look at the RSI is lower, and it looks like the RSI has reversed. But let's give it a little bit more time. The RSI divergence is a bit in line. Yes, the RSI has been diverging, but the RSI has been diverging since 2020, right? So we're going to just take a look at the last two, the July 2023 versus December 2023. So if we look at the RSI, yes, according to the RSI, you do have a little bit of divergence here. However, keep in mind, the price has already made a new high. And if the price goes higher, you're going to see that RSI reverse. So while the RSI did show you divergence 2 weeks ago, right now, I would be careful in still treating that because your RSI divergence trade has technically already failed.
Just to be
Because
clear, you're looking at the S&P 500 there, not
S&P
Bitcoin.
500, yes.
Mm. Have you ever looked at the Bitcoin 12-month charts and then brought up the RSI divergence on the 12-month charts? I don't know if it's noteworthy, but it's something that I've noticed.
I don't think you mean 12-month charts. I think you mean monthly charts.
No, we'll go to the monthly. I've looked at the annual charts. I've looked at the annual
I don't think
charts.
there's enough data in the annual charts to have an MRI. It needs
Oh
14
yeah,
candles.
maybe it was
Bitcoin's
monthly.
15 years
Maybe it
old.
was monthly.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was definitely monthly. It was definitely monthly. I've just noticed that yeah, it was definitely monthly. But notice how like every Bitcoin high came in. That's like a really, really, really long-term divergence. And I think that's quite interesting.
Yeah, I would even like raise this a little bit. Like my RSI parameters are a bit skewed to the upside. I believe I'm using like 75 and 35 instead of 70-30. But this may even need to be raised. But this is generally done on a weekly scale. And this is why my RSI, the top of my RSI is at 77. I just wanted to capture as many RSI tops as I could while capturing as many RSI bottoms as I could. So my envelope for the RSI is actually 35 versus around 78. I believe those are my parameters. We can look at inputs, visibility. Yeah, 78 versus 35. My middle is
Mhm.
still at 50, though I should probably review that one. And the RSI is moving nicely. It did hit that overbought territory on Bitcoin Weekly. Yeah, so that just happened. So that is, yeah, that happened on December 11th. We broke that RSI. And historically, whenever we break that 78 area, we have a pretty decent pullback. So yeah, that's another reason to be very, very cautious on Bitcoin right here. Thanks for making me look at that RSI.
I've definitely noticed though that despite the fact that, especially on a parabolic asset, once we can, as you very well know, we can breach that 78, 80 period and stay above it for a very extended time, and that's how you get those hyper wavy parabolic moves. They break quite early in the cycle.
All right, trade time.
Awesome.
I'm gonna go to my 1 hour chart, and we are doing this consolidation as moving averages are down. Matt, are you ready with your trade?
I've done it on my second monitor, so it'll be interesting to see if it updates it on this current monitor, but I've done it here.
Okay, so I am gonna open float. We're gonna stick with the same rules we had before, but going forward, we will be adjusting this PNL. My PNL would have been around $915 instead of 1,000. But we're gonna stick to this. I'm actually gonna I'm kind of pessimistic, but I hate going short on Bitcoin. I'm gonna leave my leverage at 10. No, I'm gonna up my leverage to 15, and I am gonna go short on this trade right here going into tomorrow. So my new, oh, I have to change the price. The price is at 42,735.
Wait, is
42,735. By the way, are we using the same ticker? I'm using the index.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So that is the new trade. I am going short here. I'm not buying into this early morning rally. The stock market is going down. I don't like this consolidation. It's lasted for a long time. We're catching up to the moving averages. I just think there's going to be a little more downside here over the next 24 hours. I think it's going to be really hard to break this swing high. Yes, it's a very nice 4-hour candle and a 1-hour candle, but that is not enough for me to go long. So I'm gonna, maybe I shouldn't be using the 1-hour chart. I should consider the 4-hour chart, which, you know, could rally into here, but I'm gonna go with a short trade for the next 24 hours.
Fantastic. Please give me a screen share, my friend, because I don't know if there's, I've already done all this thing. I don't know if it's updated on this chart, but let's have a look. Okay, it hasn't updated. I'm just going to punch in the numbers I've got up here. All right, 40, what was it? 43.
42. What the hell was my price?
Yeah, I've got it here. 42, 735, 735. And I've put in here 5x, and I'm long from this position. 42, 735,
Wait,
5x.
I don't see what you're doing actually. I think you're on a, I think you're sharing the wrong monitor maybe.
All right. That makes sense. How about that? You can see me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So 1,000 initial entry, 42, 735, 5x leverage long. I'm long on this trade from that blue line right
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Wow, you only want 5x leverage. I want 15 because we're not factoring in the PNL until next week, correct?
Yeah, maybe not, but it doesn't matter. I'm still not confident in this. We're below the moving averages, all the moving averages on the 4-hour time frame, but we're still in the buy zone as far as I'm concerned. I'm respecting that. I think that it could easily pump out of here, but it could very easily drop down. So I'm conservative with the 5x leverage here. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining episode 6 of the Daily High. We'll see you the same time, same place tomorrow night. Please keep the like and subscribe button going. Check out Alphanumetric's website. Check out Tonebase's website. We've got great links in the description below for a 2-bit and Bybit exchange. 2-bit's an excellent exchange. We use it right here. This current trade I'm currently in is I'm in with 2-bit. I think it's fantastic. I hope you enjoy the show, and we'll see you the same time tomorrow night. Thank you, Tone.
All right. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for hosting. And guys, come on back. There's going to be other shows launching on this channel. There's also going to be Financial Summit Twitter Spaces brought to you tomorrow. And yeah, we may have some special guests there. Also, check out the Financial Summit Twitter, Instagram, and all the other social media. Please subscribe. We can really use some more subscribers so more people see our video. Hit the like, hit the share button.